Welcome to the Michigan Runner Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
Rage, and I'd never seen him angry. He said, no dame ever ran no marathon. And I said, it was in Sports Illustrated. And he said, I don't believe it. He said, you'd have to prove it to me. And he said, if you prove to me that you could run 26 miles, I'd be the first person to take you to Boston. So my impetus was to impress my coach and show him I could do it. And true to his word, when we ran the 26 miles, he was so proud of me. And I said, let's run another 5. I want to make sure when we go to Boston, I can finish this race. We ran another 5. We ran 31 miles. He passed out at the end of the workout.
This is a training.
In a training run.
How far before that was Boston?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah. And it was do or die.
Not a recommended strategy.
Yeah,
anymore.
31 miles. And
what's the coach's name again?
his name was Arnie, A-R-N-I-E, like Arnold,
Yeah.
but Arnie Briggs, B-R-I-G-G-S. And he was just a university man, Syracuse, but he was a mailman. He wasn't even a real official coach. He was just a volunteer coach. He said, women have hidden potential in endurance and stamina. She ran me in the ground. We had really discovered something that is changing the face of sports today, which is that women have inherent potential in endurance and stamina. If you give a woman a 100-mile race or a 6-day race or 24 hours, she's going to win. And that's going to change. It's changing already the future of sport. We also have more balance and flexibility. And this isn't a men versus woman thing or woman versus man thing. It's about finally getting the opportunity. I mean, for thousands of years, sports has been about speed, power, and strength, and that's great. We're never going to have that like you guys. But you don't have the endurance and flexibility and balance and stamina. So what is sport going to look like in 50 years? That's one reason why I'm running on Monday. It's a celebration of the progress for the last 50 years, but with 261 Fearless, my foundation, it's about what we can do for the next 50 years. We can change a lot of things.
But what is still to do? Held up
What is still to do? I mean, there's an amazing number of countries that don't even let women drive or go to an education or go out of the house. We've really got to reach them with empowerment. Society changes when women change. And that empowerment already, look, you all are covering running, you've seen it. Look at what's happened in Kenya and Ethiopia. Those women had nothing a few years ago. Now the money is changing the face of their villages. They're inoculating kids, they're building schools, they're sanitizing water, they're esteemed people. So women who are empowered can change the whole society around them for the better. And running can do it. I know it sounds crazy. One foot in front of the other, it's a transformational experience.
But do you know?
Yeah, go ahead.
The picture, you held it up in the newspaper. It's a seminal photograph.
It is.
I'm just curious, all these years, when you look back, what do you see in that picture when you look at it?
What I see, first of all, I don't think a day passes I don't think about Jock Semple and thank him. And in case you all haven't heard the story, we did become best of friends, and I visited him only a few hours before he died. He became a very dear friend. How can you not love somebody that helps you change the world, And that photograph has become one of the most galvanizing photos in women's rights history. It's amazing. And yes, has it helped with all this movement? It's been incredible. It's been a very, very powerful vehicle.
I'm just curious what you see in that
So
woman.
what do I see?
What do you see? I get the picture, but I'm just curious what you see in that woman in the picture, because it was 50 years ago.
Yeah. What I see sometimes in that face is a 20-year-old girl who is faced with an astonishing moment that came out of the blue, scared the hell out of me, terrified me, embarrassed me, but made me so resolute. And because I turned to my coach after we finally, knocked Jock out of the way, and I said, I'm going to have to finish this race on my hands and my knees if I have to, because nobody's going to believe women can do this if I don't do this. And I look at it and I say, how did you, Kathrine, I'm 70, at 20, make a decision like that? And I think it's because I had been running for a long time. I felt really strong and powerful.
When's the last time you actually ran Boston?
76.
76.
Yeah,
So,
and since then I've been doing television commentary. I've done every televised edition of this race, 37 years consecutive. It's amazing. I know every single woman personally who's ever won the race.
so you're ending a streak.
Yeah, I am. The station manager said, well, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to run. And he said, you got to be kidding me.
You didn't jump in 75 was the first year, I believe?
No, I ran again in 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, and 76. In 75, I had my best performance here.
That was the first year women were official.
No, 72.
Oh, 72, okay.
Yeah. But in 75, I ran at 2:51, which was a really good time then. Yeah, it was from a 4:20 to a 2:51. If I can do that, anybody can do it, It's a lot of hard work.
I don't know about
How
that.
is it now globally? Are there still countries that prohibit women to run marathon?
Oh yes, there's countries that prohibit women from going out of their house. There's countries that prohibit women from driving. But let's take that country. Let's take a Saudi Arabia, okay, for instance. It's changing there too, because Saudi didn't get to compete in the Olympic Games in 2012 unless they had a woman on the team. And thank God the IOC got some teeth, you know? And so Sarah Attar went and she ran the 800. And when she ran around that track in London, she got a standing ovation all the way around. She was in her hijab, long sleeves, long pants. So you say, does it make a difference? It makes a huge difference. There's a door that's closed, but she's pushed it open just this little bit. But when a door is pushed open, you can push it further.
And you live in New Zealand part of the year, you said?
Yeah, I live in the Hudson Valley about 7 months a year. Roger and I then have about 4.5, 5 months in New Zealand.
I hope it's summer to summer.
Yeah, we figured it out. It took a while, but we figured it out. Yeah.
And is there any, you mentioned any trepidation with running on Monday, or what's the excitement? I don't know. I'm just curious what the...
Look, physically, strength-wise, running-wise, I'm fine. It's just that I'm a little nervous and stressed from the interviews.
Doing all this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep you relaxed.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to run. If you want to know the truth, I just don't want to get the bonk. I don't want to get really tired in the middle of the race. But I'll finish. I'm sure you should.
I'm curious. You mentioned did Arnie run with you then
in 67?
In 67,
absolutely.
he was part of the thing.
Every step, he was part of it.
Boyfriend at the time and former husband, he ran as well. Kind of a.
He didn't run. He didn't stay with me. That's another story.
Part of it, yeah. You just ran part of the race?
No, he ran the whole thing.
That's what I meant. I just was going back to you had a few people with you at the time.
I did, and Tommy Leonard from our cross country team ran with me too. We stayed together, the three of us, which is remarkable in a marathon to keep three people together. Really amazing. But
so it was 3 guys and yourself.
No, 2 guys and myself.
Oh, okay.
Tom left us right after the incident.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you that story. It's a longer story, but it's a funny story, and it's a heartbreaking story. I'll tell you that in a minute. But you give me a chance.
So thinking about you and Bobby and kind of the different approaches through life, not just to getting into the marathon, and kind of what you're trying to accomplish. You're both trying to accomplish for women. Do you think about that quote from Seneca Falls that rarely behave women? That it takes all kinds of resistance, or
it takes all kinds. I read in Ambi's book an interesting quote from Roberta. She said, "I'm not an activist, I'm not an activist or organizer." Well, I am an activist and an organizer. But what Bobby did was incredible. She ran beautifully. And I didn't even know she was in the race in 67, and it was. But in a way I didn't care because I wasn't there to prove anything. It had been done already. The first woman had already run it. I was there as a reward for my coach. It wasn't until Jacques attacked me did everything change. Then it was a radicalizing and inspiring experience. But yes, it's beyond.
Thanks.
What advice do you give women who are told that they can't do something?
Sorry?
What advice would you give women who are told that they can't do something?
Okay, I would. You mean can't, like really can't because of society or culture?
Because of society.
I always say that freedom begins in the heart first, and that what you need to do also is you can thank God for better or worse, I guess, for the internet and cell phones. There's a communications network that exists, especially with 261 Fearless. We even have a safe portal on our website that these women can talk to each other and they can find friends around the world that can give them the sense of freedom or the sense of information that they need.
Did you realize when you were running the race 50 years ago that you were making history?
I didn't at first. I was just telling my chaps here, and I'll start over again. But I was really only running the Boston Marathon as a reward from my coach, who didn't believe a woman could do it. Regardless of the fact that Bobby Gibb had run the year before, he wouldn't believe it. And he said I'd have to prove to him in practice that a woman could do it. And if I did it, he would be the first person to take me to Boston, thinking